Life is the best school. Hardship is our best teacher. Problem is the best assignment. And failure is the best revision. Blessed day, dear students. In previous week, we revised chapter 1, the living world, and today we will revise chapter 2, kingdom animalia. Animal kingdom is characterized of eukaryotic multicellular heterotrophic organisms, and there are certain bases for classification of animal kingdom, which includes level of organization, and then diploplastic or triploplastic, patterns of symmetry, and coelom, presence of coelom, segmentation, and notochord. First one is the level of organization. In level of organization, the animals can be classified into cellular level, organ level of organization, organ system level of organization, and organ level of organization. This cellular level of organization is mostly seen in sponges. So this is the basic level of organization seen in sponges. In sponges, there are two types of cells are present. It is an important 2-mark question. In sponges, the outer layer is formed of pinacocytes, that means plate-like cells that maintain the size and structure of the sponge, and the inner layer is called as conocytes. These are flagellated collar cells that create and maintain water flow through the sponge, which is helpful for respiration and digestive functions. So it is an important 2-mark question. Name the two cells that is present in sponges. And next is the tissue level of organization. It is seen group of cells combine to form a tissue. This they perform a similar function. And example for this is hydra. Organ level and organ system level of organization is found in higher invertebrates. What is the difference between complete digestive system and incomplete digestive system? Incomplete digestive system means the animal is having only one opening. ஒரே ஒரு ஓப்பனிங் தான் இருக்கும், which act as a both a mouth and anus. Hence they are incomplete digestive system. Example, platyel mantis. And whereas in ascalmantis to chordates, the complete digestive system is present, in which the animal having two openings, the mouth and anus. So this is the only difference between complete and incomplete digestive system. Then we see the difference between open and closed type of circulation. What is open type of circulation? Open type means there is absence of blood capillaries. Blood capillaries irukadu. Blood tissue space fullave உடம்பு fullave blood ஆவே இருக்கும். ஓகேவா? So the blood remains filled in a tissue spaces due to the absence of blood capillaries. Example, arthropods, mollusks, cockroach na எடுத்துட்டேன்னு வெச்சுக்கோ. They are open type of circulation. And closed type of circulation is seen where the blood vessels are present. The blood vessels means arteries, veins, capillaries எல்லாமே இருக்கும். Example, annelids, cephalochordates and vertebrates. Open type means the blood vessels are absent. Closed type means blood vessels are present. Next we move on to diploplastic and triploplastic. Diploplastic animals means the organisms has two germ layers, ectoderm and endoderm. Ectoderm, endoderm ரெண்டு germ layer இருந்தால், ஓகேவா, they are called as diploplastic. Okay, so what is mesoglea? Mesoglea means ectodermக்கு endodermக்கு நடுவுல ஒரு undifferentiated layer இருக்கும், அதுக்கு பேர் தான் mesoglea. This mesoglea is present in corals, jellyfishes and sea anemone. What is triploplastic? Triploplastic அப்படின்னா animals having 3 germinal layers. That means ectoderm, endoderm and middle பார்த்தோன்னா mesodermனு ஒன்று இருக்கும். ஸோ அது 3 லேயர் இருந்தால் ட்ரிப்ளோபிளாஸ்டிக், 2 லேயர் இருந்தால் டிப்ளோபிளாஸ்டிக், அண்ட் 2 லேயருக்கு நடுவில் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு அன்டிஃபரன்ஷியேட்டட் லேயர் தட் இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் மிசோக்லியா. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் 2 மார்க்ஸில் கேட்கறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்குது. அண்ட் தென் பேட்டர்ன் ஆஃப் சிமெண்ட்ரி, தெர் ஆர் asymmetrical, radially symmetrical, okay, biradially symmetrical and bilaterally symmetrical. ஸோ இதில் வந்து பென்டாமரஸ் ரேடியல் சிமெண்ட்ரி எந்த அனிமலில் இருக்குதுன்னு ஒரு கொஷின் வரும். ஸோ பென்டாமரஸ் ரேடியல் சிமெண்ட்ரி இஸ் ஃபவுண்ட் இன் ஸ்டார்ஃபிஷ். ஓகே, மற்றபடி சிமெண்ட்ரி எல்லாம் நம்ம ஏற்கனவே நிறையா கிளாஸஸில் பார்த்தாச்சு. நெக்ஸ்ட் இஸ் த சீலோம். சீலோம் அப்படின்னா என்னது? பாடி கேவிட்டி. ஸோ பேஸ்ட் ஆன் சீலோம் அனிமல்ஸ் ஆர் கிளாசிஃபைட் இன்டு 3: ஏசிலோமேட், சூடோசிலோமேட் அண்ட் யூசிலோமேட். ஏசிலோமேட்னா ஆப்சன்ஸ் ஆஃப் சீலோம். ஸோ ஆப்சன்ஸ் ஆஃப் சீலோம் வந்து ஏசிலோமேட் இஸ் present in flatworms. There is no body cavity in these animals. 2 மார்க்கில் வரும். Why flatworms are called as acoelomate? And then pseudocoelomate. Pseudocoelomate means they have false coelom. That means the body cavity is not fully lined by mesodermal epithelium. Mesodermal is found scattered as a pouches. Okay, va? Eucoelomate, it is differentiated into two, schizocoelomate and enterocoelomate. This is very important 2 mark. Differentiate schizocoelomate and enterocoelomate. Schizocoelomate means the body cavity is formed by splitting of mesoderm. Splitting of mesoderm, that's the keyword. Enterocoelomate abdina, it is formed from the mesodermal pouches of organteron. Formed from mesodermal pouches of organteron, and you have to write the example. And then segmentation, தெரியும், body is divided into internally and externally. So metamerism na enna உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். Okay, and then due to the presence or absence of notochord, animals can be classified into two, chordates and non-chordates. And then animal classification, போன கிளாஸ்லேயே ஒரு classification மாதிரி போட்டு வீடியோ போட்டிருந்தேன். So classification of animal kingdom. So animal kingdom is classified into parazoa and eumetazoa. Eumetazoa மறுபடியும் 2 கிரேட்ஸாக பிரியும், radiata and bilateria. And மறுபடியும் bilateria 2 டிவிஷன்ஸாக பிரியும், protostomia and deuterostomia. And then we move on to the different characters of various phylums. So phylum ஓட general characters படிக்கும்பொழுது எது வேணாலும் கேட்கலாம். அதனால you put one tabular column. அழகாக பேப்பரை வந்து ஒரு 3ஆவோ 4ஆவோ டிவைட் பண்ணிவிட்டு ஒவ்வொரு ஃபைலமோடைய கீவேர்ட்ஸ் மட்டும் எடுத்து எழுதிக்கோ. அது மட்டும் எடுத்து எழுதினா போதும் வித் எக்ஸாம்பிள். ஓகேவா? ஸோ போரிஃபெரா. ஸோ இப்போ நான் கீவேர்ட்ஸ் மட்டும் தான் டிவைஸ் பண்ண போகிறேன். ஸோ யூ கேன் ஃபாலோ திஸ் அண்ட் ரைட் இட் இன் எ டேபிள். நோட்டில் கூட அசைன்மெண்ட் நோட்லேயே நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணலான்னா ஒரு டேபிள் போட்டு அந்த டேபிளில் அந்த பாயிண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் எழுதிக்கலாம். ஓகேவா? ஸோ சாதாரணமாக எல்லா விதமான ஃபைலம்ஸ்க்கும் ஒரு 4 கேரக்டர்ஸ் ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஸோ ஆல் அனிமல்ஸ் ஹேவிங் 4 காமன் கேரக்டரிஸ்டிக்ஸ். ஒன் இஸ் லெவல் ஆஃப் ஆர்கனைசேஷன், another one is whether it is diploplastic or triploplastic, third one is symmetry, and fourth one is coelom. So இது நாலுமே எல்லா விதமான ஃபைலம் இருக்கும். ஓகேவா? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் we start with phylum porifera. Porifera pore bearers. They are aquatic marine. Water enters into the ostia and exit out through osculum. Special type of cells are present, conococytes. And then the body is covered by spicules or spongin. Okay, and they are hermaphrodite. The larva is parenchyma or amphiblastula. எல்லா ஃபைலமோட லார்வாவும் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். It may be asked in 1 marks. Okay, phylum porifera ஓட லார்வா parenchyma and amphiblastula. Second one, phylum Cnidaria. Cnidaria means stinging cells or needle-like cells. ஸோ இது வந்து ஏற்கனவே சீலன்ட்ரேட் அப்படின்ற பேரில் இருந்துச்சு. ஓகேவா? ஸோ இதில் all forms are radially symmetrical except C anemone which is bilaterally symmetrical. இது ஒரு keyword. So this name nidoplast எங்கிருந்து வந்துச்சுன்னா because the tentacles have nematocyst or stinging cells. This nidoblast எதுக்கு யூஸ் ஆகும்? Nidoblast is used for anchorage, defense and to capture the prey. And then it exhibits in 2 body forms, polyp and medusa. Polyp form and medusa form. And then metagenesis is present. The larva is planula larva. I am giving only the important keywords. Next one is phylum Ctenophora. Ctenophora means comb bearing animals. So comb jellies. Okay va? Comb bearing animals. So இதில் வந்து பார்த்தோன்னா 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates இருக்கும். 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates இருக்கும், which is used for locomotion. Second point என்னன்னு பார்த்தோன்னா bioluminescence. That means they have the ability to emit light. And third one பார்த்தோன்னா they lack nematocyst. அதுக்கு nematocyst கிடையாது. ஆனால் இன்னொரு ஒரு செல்ஸ் இருக்குது. That cells is called as lasso cells or coloblast. nematocyst இல்லை, ஆனால் அதுக்கு பதில் என்ன இருக்கும்? lasso cells or coloblast, which is helpful in food capturing. And next one, they reproduce by sexual means. Larva is cydipid larva. CYDIPPID. Cydipid larva. Okay va? Adan ctenophores. Next one, platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes means flatworm. And then hooks and suckers are present for a parasitic adaptation mode of life. The body not segmented. They have a special type of excretory cell called flame cells, which is responsible for osmoregulation. Larval stage நிறைய இருக்கும். Miracidium larva, sporocyst, redia and cercaria larva. Some members of these flatworms, that means planaria, shows regeneration capacity. Next one, phylum Ascalmantis. Ascalmantis means roundworm. So the body வந்து round இருக்கறதுனால it is roundworm. The body is unsegmented and it is covered by a tough membrane called cuticle. Excretory system consists of rennet glands. Sexes separate and then development may be direct or indirect. Some may be oviparous and some may be ovoviviparous. Next one, phylum Annelida. Phylum Annelida is the first segmented animals. Creates a hydrostatic skeleton which is helpful for locomotion. Body is metamerically segmented and then they have longitudinal circular muscles for locomotion, and then nereis have parapodia for swimming. Okay, earthworm uses chitinous setae and leech uses suckers. Okay, they reproduce sexually, and the larva is trochophore larva. The circulatory system is closed type and the respiratory pigments are hemoglobin and chlorocruronin. Underline பண்ணி வச்சுக்கோ bookல. So it's an important one mark. Next is phylum Arthropoda. Poda feet. Okay, jointed feet. This is the largest phylum. Okay, they have jointed appendages. The body is covered by chitinous exoskeleton. So இங்கே வந்து they exhibit molting or ecdysis. That means தோல் உரிக்கும். The body consists of head, thorax and abdomen, which உள்ள ஒரு space இருக்கும், that is called as hemocoel. The respiratory organs of these arthropods are gills, book lungs or trachea. Okay, they have a sensory organ called statocyst. Excretion by Malpighian tubules, green glands and coxal glands, and development may be direct or indirect. Next one is phylum Mollusca. Mollusca is the second largest animal, and then the body is unsegmented with a distinct head, muscular foot and visceral hump. The soft layer of the skin over the mantle is called as the visceral hump. The space between the visceral mass and the mantle is called as mantle cavity, which has a feather-like gills called tenidia, which is responsible for respiration. They have a rasping organ called radula, which is found in their mouth. The sense organs is ospiradium, and the excretory organ is nephridia. They contain hemocyanin, a copper-containing respiratory pigment, hemocyanin. The larva is veliger larva. Simply you can write in a single word, hemocyanin is present. Larva, veliger larva. Next one is phylum Echinodermata. Echinodermata means spiny skin, and they are marine animals. They have vascular system. They move with the help of tube feet or podia. The digestive system is complete. The excretory organs are absent, and the nervous and sensory organs are poorly developed. Circulatory system is open type. Some of the echinoderms exhibit autotomy with remarkable power of regeneration. அப்படியே கட் பண்ணிட்டு போயிட்டு உடம்பு பாடி என்ன பண்ணும், அந்த டைமில் கட் பண்ணிட்டு போய் மறுபடியும் ரீஜெனரேட் பண்ணிக்கும். That is called as autotomy. Next one is the phylum Hemichordata. Hemichordata means this hemichordata comes under prochordates or protochordates. Hemichordata. So this phylum consists of worm-like animals. So they are called as acron worms or tongue worms. The body is divided into proboscis, collar and a long trunk. Respiratory system is simple. Respiration paired gill slits. The larva in this is a Tornaria larva. Next one is phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata, the general characters of chordates is very, very important 5-mark question. So you have to read and write. So phylum Chordata, it consists of first one, you put the side headings. Presence of notochord, presence of nochord, and presence of pharyngeal gill slits, and then you explain. You have to draw a diagram also. Next one is the difference between the chordates and non-chordates is also very important. And then subphylum Urochordata. Uro means tail, chord notochord. So they are commonly called as sea squirts. And the body is unsegmented and is covered by tunic, covering a sac-like structure. Okay, the coelom is absent. Coelom is absent. Notochord is present only in the tail region of the larva, hence it is named as Urochordata. And it shows the retrogressive metamorphosis. Next one is phylum Cephalochordata. Cephal means head. These are marine worms. Here they show most of the characters of the phylum Chordata. Close type of circulation, protonephridia is also present, and they produces a free swimming larva. Next we move on to the phylum Vertebrata. Vertebrates, these are the higher chordates. They have backbones. This vertebrata is divided into two divisions, Agnatha and Gnathostomata. So Agnatha means they are jawless fishes, and Gnathostomata means jawed vertebrates. Agnatha has only one class, that is Cyclostomata. Cyclo means circle, mouth. These fishes have circular mouth. So we have discussed this evaluation part. Okay, and the Gnathostomata includes jawed fishes, which includes fishes and also tetrapods. Tetra means four legs. That means it have two pairs of limbs, which includes amphibians, reptiles, aves, and mammals. So this jawed fishes, Gnathostomata, is divided into two classes, chondrichthysis and osteochthysis. So differentiate chondrichthysis and osteochthysis. That means cartilaginous fish and bony fishes. This I have given you one tabular column. And then next one is the class Amphibia. Amphi means both, life. So the animals which live in both land and water. So it is called as amphibians. They have two pairs of limbs. The tail may or may not be present. The skin is smooth, rough, pigmented, and glandular. They have eyelids. Tympanum is present. They respire through gills, lungs, and through the skin. Heart is three-chambered heart. In fishes it is two-chambered, but in amphibians it is three-chambered. They are oviparous and they show hibernation and estivation. It's winter sleep and summer sleep. That means they become inactive in winter and summer. Next one is class Reptilia. Reptiles are terrestrial animals. They have three-chambered heart except crocodiles, which is four-chambered. It will be asked in 1 mark. All the reptiles are three-chambered except crocodile, which is four-chambered. So these are cold-blooded, poikilothermic. Poikilotherms means cold-blooded animals. So they lay eggs. Such eggs are called as cleidoic eggs. Cleidoic eggs have shell with a extraembryonic membrane like amnion, allantois, chorion, and yolk sac. And this excretion is a uricotelic. That means they excrete uric acid. Next one is class Aves. Aves is nothing but birds. They have the ability to fly. There are some birds which do not fly. They are called as flightless birds, such as ostrich, kiwi, penguin, etc. Okay, the birds, the forelimbs are modified into wings. The body is covered by feathers, scales, claws, etc. And the endoskeleton is fully ossified with long bones with air cavities. Such bones are called as pneumatic bones. What are pneumatic bones? Okay, the bones which have air cavities. The heart is four-chambered. Urinary bladder is absent. Migration and parental care is well marked. And respiration is by lungs. They have air sacs. Next one is class Mammalia. Mamma means breast. So what are the two important characteristics of mammals? Presence of epidermal hairs and mammary glands. So they have two pairs of limbs which is adapted for walking, running, climbing, etc. The skin is glandular in nature, which have sweat glands, sin glands, and sebaceous glands. And the exoskeleton is made up of horns, spines, scales, claws, nails, etc. The teeth is ticodont, heterodont, and diphyodont. That means they have different types of teeth. External ear, that is pinna, is present. Heart is four-chambered. And they have RBC and WBC. RBC are circular by concave, non-nucleated. We will revise the evaluation part of chapter 2, Kingdom Animalia. The question is, the symmetry exhibited in Cnidarian is? The symmetry exhibited in Cnidarians is a radial symmetry. Sea anemone belongs to phylum. Sea anemone belongs to which phylum? Coelenterata. Third one, the excretory cells that are found in Platyhelminthes are The excretory cells of platyhelminthes is flame cells. And fourth one, in which of the following organisms self-fertilization is seen? Self-fertilization is seen in liver fluke. Fifth one, nephridia of earthworms are performing the same function as nephridia is helpful for excretion. So this has flame cells of planarian. Flame cells is also responsible for excretion. Whereas gills, this trachea, this used for respiration. So the answer is flame cells of planarian. Sixth one, which of the following animals have a true coelom? True coelom. Which animals have true coelom? Perithema, that means earthworm. Seventh one, metameric segmentation is the main feature of phylum Annelida. Metameric segmentation is the main feature of phylum Annelida. In perithema, the locomotion occurs with the help of, so earthworm moves with the help of circular longitudinal muscles and setae. And ninth one, which of the following have the highest number of species in nature? Insects. Insects belongs to phylum Arthropods. So 10th one, which of the following is a crustacean? Prawn. Prawn is a crustacean. Sea anemone is a coelenterate. Snail belongs to mollusca and hydra belongs to coelenterate. So here prawn is a crustacean which belongs to the phylum Arthropods. The respiratory pigment in cockroach is, none of the above is the answer. Hemoglobin, oxyhemoglobin, hemocyanin and hemoerythrin is not present in cockroach. 12th one, exoskeleton of which phylum consists of chitinous cuticle? So which phylum consists of chitinous cuticle as an exoskeleton? Arthropods. 13th one, lateral line sense organs occur in? Lateral line sense organs occur in fishes. 14th one, the limbless amphibian is? The limbless amphibian, they do not have limbs. So the limbless amphibian is Ichthyophis. Ichthyophis. 15th one, four-chambered heart is present in crocodile. See the other options, lizard, snake and scorpion. These are all reptiles. So some reptiles, all the reptiles have a three-chambered heart except crocodile which has four-chambered heart. 16th one, which of the following is not a correct pair? Whale, aminotelic. Whale is not a fish, it is a mammal. So it excretes urea. So it is the wrong one. 17th one, which of the following is an egg-laying mammal? Egg-laying mammal, Ornithorhynchus. Ornithorhynchus. And 18th one, pneumatic bones are seen in. Pneumatic bones means the bones which is filled with air cavities. It is seen in birds, that is aves. And 19th one, match the following columns and select the correct options. So in your public exams, questions like this will be asked. Pila. Pila means apple snail. So you can choose easily. The option is B, Pila, apple snail. And Dentalium is tusk shell. Chitopleura is a chiton. Octopus is a devilfish. 20th one, which of the following phyla the adult shows radial symmetry but the larva shows bilateral symmetry? Adult shows radial whereas the larva shows bilateral symmetry is found in Echinodermata. 21st question, which of the following is correctly matched? Physalia, Portuguese man of war. Okay, so these are all the 1 marks. So it's very easy for you to read. So don't go for options. Read as Phillips. Phillips மாதிரி படி. Question கேட்ட டக்குன்னு ஆன்சர் சொல்லணும். Options எதிர்பார்க்க கூடாது. Right? It will get into your memory. Okay? If I ask the limbless amphibian is, don't ask for options. You have to say the correct answer. Ichthyophis. Right? Move on to the 22nd question. Why are spongin and spicules important to a sponge? Sponges exhibit cellular grade of organization. The body of sponges is supported by a skeleton made up of calcareous and siliceous spicules or spongin or both. So, why spongin and spicules are important? Because sponges are cellular grade of organization. So, the body has to made up of a calcareous and silicaceous spicules, which gives a structure to that sponge. Next question, 23rd. What are the four characteristics common to most animals? So morning itself we discussed. So what are the four characteristics common to the most animals? The basic fundamental features such as level of organization, whether it is diploplastic or triploplastic, pattern of symmetry, coelom, segmentation and notochord, and these are the important characteristics of most of the animals. Question number 24. List the features that all vertebrates show at some point in their development. List the features that all vertebrates shows. So all vertebrates must have the presence of notochord, solid ventral tubular nerve cord, and gill slits. Okay, these three features are shown at the some point in the development, whether it may be in larva or it may be in adult. 25th question. Compare closed and open circulatory system. Already we discussed. So open means the blood remains in the tissue spaces and due to the absence of blood capillaries. Closed means the blood is circulated through the blood vessels by varying diameter. That means by arteries, veins and capillaries. 26th question. Compare cystocoelom with enterocoelom. What is cystocoelomate and enterocoelomate? Cystocoelom means the body cavity is formed by splitting of mesoderm. These are the two types seen in eumetazoa. Okay, cystocoelom means the body cavity is formed by splitting of mesoderm, whereas enterocoelomate means the body cavity is formed from the mesodermal pouches of archenteron. You have to write the examples. 27. Identify structures that the archenteron becomes in a developing animal. So identify the structure that archenteron becomes into a developing animal. In eumetazoans have a true coelom. They are called as enterocoel, which is formed from the archenteron. So this enterocoel is formed from archenteron. One picture is given. Okay, observe the animal and answer the questions. So they are given this picture. So what is this? Name this animal. So this is a sea anemone. What type of symmetry does this animal exhibit? This exhibit bilateral symmetry. All the coelentrates are radial symmetry except sea anemone, which is bilaterally symmetrical. Is this animal cephalized? Cephal means what? A head. So does it have head? No. How many germ layers does this animal have? So they are asking whether it is diploplastic or triploplastic. They have two germinal layers. So they are diploplastic. How many openings does this animal digestive system have? So this coelentrates belongs to the incomplete digestive system because they have only one opening. This opening serves as both mouth and anus. And last one, does this animal have neurons? So they have a nervous system. So they have primitive nervous systems. 29th question. Choose the term that does not belong in the following group and explain why it does not belong. So there are various words are given. Notochord, cephalization, dorsal nerve cord and radial symmetry. So here the term is the radial symmetry because chordates are bilaterally symmetrical. Chordates are bilaterally symmetrical. So this is like choose the odd one. Question number 30. Why flatworms are acoelomates? Animals which do not possess a body cavity is called as acoelomate. They do not have a body cavity. Since there is no body cavity in this animal, the body is solid without a perivisceral cavity. So body ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்கு, சாலிடா இருக்கு. This restrict the free movement of internal organs. உள்ள இருக்கக்கூடிய internal organs ஃப்ரீயான ஆகாது, மூவ் ஆகாது. So they are called as acoelomates, flatworms. Next, 31. What are flame cells? Flame cells are specialized organ which is helpful for excretion in platyhelminthes. That means flatworms. Flatworms have specialized excretory cells called phloem cells, which is also responsible for osmoregulation and excretion. Next, 32. Concept of mapping is given. Use the following terms to create a concept map that shows the major characteristic features of phylum Nematoda. Nematodes means roundworms. They are pseudocoelomate and the digestive tract is straight. They are covered by cuticle. They show parasitic adaptations and they exhibit sexual dimorphism. Sexes are separate. And 33. In which phyla is the larva trochophore found? Trochophore larva is found in, you know that, phylum Annelida. Good. So trochophore larva is found in phylum Annelida. Question number 34. Which of the cardate characters do tunicates retain as adults? Tunicates means urocardates. So in tunicates, the dorsal tubular nerve cord is present only in the larval stage and a single dorsal ganglion is present in the adult stage. So this is the only characters adult retains. Question number 35. List the characteristic feature that distinguish cartilaginous fishes with a living jawless fishes. Jawless fishes, all members of cyclostomes. Jawless fishes means it belongs to cyclostomes. So all members of cyclostomes are primitive, they are poikilothermic and they are jawless aquatic vertebrates and are ectoparasite on some fishes. Ecto means outer. They are attached with the other animals externally. So mouth is circular without jaws and they are suctorial. They can suck the food from the other animals. That is the host. Example is the petromyzon and myxine. Cartilaginous fishes. These are marine fishes with cartilaginous endoskeleton. And notochord is persistent throughout their life. Skin is tough, covered by dermal placoid scales. So the skin is covered by placoid scales. The jaws are very powerful. Example for this is shark and stingray. Shark and stingray. Next we move on to 36th question. List 3 features that characterize bony fishes. So what are the characteristics of bony fishes? Bony fishes includes both marine and freshwater living with a bony endoskeleton. So it has the bony endoskeleton and the body is spindle shaped. The skin is covered by different types of scales called ganoid, cycloid and ctenoid scales. Respiration is by 4 pairs of filamentous gills and it is covered by an operculum on either side. Fishes you can able to see the operculum. இப்போ மீன் கடைக்கெலாம் போகணுன்னா மீன் ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷாக இருக்குதான்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு செவில் மாதிரி இருக்கும், அதை திறந்து காட்டுக்குவாங்க பார்த்தியா. ஸோ அதுக்கு பேர் தான் operculum. Okay, so this operculum covers the gills. Next is sexes are separate and fertilization, external fertilization is seen. Most of them are oviparous. Example, exocetus, that is the flying fish. They lay eggs, so they are oviparous. Next question, 37. List the functions of air bladder in fishes. So what is the function of air bladder in fishes? There are so many functions of air bladders. It acts as an hydrostatic organ. Hydrostatic organ, that means it keeps equal weight of fish and volume of water so that it can able to maintain a constant way of movement. Hydrostatic organ. And it also helps in respiration by exchange of gases. They also help in sound production. That means it produces some sounds. This, with the help of this air bladder, sounds can be produced. And it also acts as an auditory function which helps to hear the sound. And last one is the sensory function. It helps to observe the pressure changes in water. Osmolality, it helps in maintaining the pressure changes in water. So these are the functions of air bladder in fishes. Hydrostatic organ, respiration, sound production, auditory function and sensory function. 38th question. Write the characteristics that contribute the success of reptiles on land. So how these reptiles are adapted to land. Reptiles are mostly terrestrial animals and the body is covered by dry and conified skin with epidermal scales. So the skin of reptiles are dry, hard and covered with epidermal scales. So you can see so many pictures. Reptiles have three-chambered heart, but crocodiles have four-chambered heart. Reptiles have three-chambered, but crocodiles have four-chambered heart. Most of the reptiles lay cleidoic eggs. Cleidoic eggs means that it has a shell, outer shell, with extra embryonic membranes such as amnion, allantois, codion, and yolk sac. Excretion by metanephric kidney and or uricotelic. They excrete by kidney and the excretory product is uric acid, so they are called as uricotelic. They are monoecious, sexes are separate and internal fertilization takes place and all are oviparous. They lay eggs. Example, turtle, tortoise and house lizard. 39th question. List the unique features of birds' endoskeleton. Endoskeleton of birds. So the endoskeleton of bird is fully ossified, that is bony, and the long bones have air cavities. The bones have hollow spaces which is filled with the air cavities. Such type of bones are called as pneumatic bones. It helps to fly in air with low weight. It reduces the weight of the body so that the birds can able to fly. And the last question is, could the number of eggs or young ones produced by an oviparous and a viviparous female be equal? So oviparous-க்கும் viviparous produce பண்ணக்கூடிய eggs equal-ஆ இருக்குமா? ஏன்? The numbers of eggs produced by an oviparous mother will be more than the young ones produced by the viviparous mother. So the number of eggs oviparous egg laying வந்து அதிகமாக egg lay பண்ணும் than the one which carries the child, because in oviparous animals the development of young ones takes place outside the mother's body. Development takes place where? Outside the mother's body. The eggs are more prone to environmental conditions and predators. Therefore, to overcome the loss, more eggs can be produced by the mothers so that even under harsh environmental conditions, some eggs might be able to survive and can produce young ones. So the oviparous can lay more number of eggs since it is laid outside the mother's body. On the other hand, in viviparous organisms, the development of young ones takes place inside the safe condition of the mother. So they are less exposed to environmental conditions and predators. Therefore, there are more chance of their survival and hence less number of young ones is produced compared to the number of eggs. So this question is very easy. If you understand it, you can write. So we finished our revision part, this evaluation part. So it's in your hand now. Now hand it over to you. It's you to study. It's you to revise. It's you to write the test. So prepare well for the test. Go through all the questions. Read the evaluation questions first. Revise. Write a home test. I will give you a home test then and there. Okay, so keep on studying. Thank you.